Hello my beautiful friends, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. So today I woke up feeling really good. I woke up with energy, I woke up thinking about my future a lot, and I decided today was the perfect day to make my vision board for 2021. So if you haven't tuned into last week's video, I went over 2020's vision board, which is this one right here. And I went over what did and didn't happen. I know that if you know anything about vision boards, mine doesn't look like what they normally look like. Normally, a vision board is made with magazines and cutouts and printouts, but for me, I personally prefer to put physical energy into it. Therefore, I drew everything very awfully, I know, but the thought and the energy that went into it is what matters. So, if you want to see what all came from 2020's vision board, that video will be linked up top and also in the description below, and yeah, feel free to check that out. So first and foremost, what is manifestation? So manifestation is essentially wanting something so bad or believing in something so much that the universe kind of makes it happen. It's all about your subconscious, essentially. So a vision board, what it is it's a collection of items that represent your dreams and goals for the duration of how long you want your vision board to last. Some people make them for a year, some people make them for 5 years, some people even make them for decades. But it's really just depending on you. So if you have a lot of short-term goals, like in the next year I want to get my first car, in the next year I want to get a new job, in the next year I want to save up to buy this, like that's a short-term goal. And then you put it somewhere that you will look at every single day. And here's how it works. Basically, out of my own personal experience, so I put my vision board right next to my door, right above my light. So every single time I walked out of my room, I saw it. Every single time I turned my light on, I saw it. Every time I turned my light off, I saw it. It was always there. Every single time I was in my room, I looked right at it. And obviously, being a bedroom, that is a place that I'm in at least twice a day. Once when I wake up and once when I go to sleep. Think about how many times you walk in and out of that bedroom. Think of how many times you'll literally look right at that board. So here's the magic of manifestation boards. While I was at work, every time I had a quiet minute, I found myself thinking about my dreams and goals because I didn't realize it at the time, but I honestly looked at that thing so much that the images and the thoughts that they represent were drilled into my head. So if you're planning on making a vision board, if you want to make it like a typical, beautiful dream board that you're not embarrassed to have up in your room like the one I kind of have was, then typically what you'll need is some magazines, some scissors, some glue, and maybe some quotations that you've typed out or printed out. But for mine, or for my style, literally all you need is paper, something to write with, dreams, and the energy to make them come true. So here is my blank slate. So first and foremost, I'm gonna write the most important part, 2021 vision board. Okay, now I'm gonna start thinking about things I want this year. So things I really want this year. So I'm gonna start with material things. So for example, last year I was hoping to upgrade my camera to a Canon with a flip screen because I had a very cheap camera before, and it liked to overheat, die prematurely, and corrupt most of my files, truthfully. So first thing I wanted to do last year was upgrade tech, and this year is really no different. So in 2020, I did a lot of outdoor adventures such as hiking. We went up to some waterfalls, and it was actually really difficult to do because a lot of the hiking that I did, I needed my hands, and so a lot of the footage I really wanted to capture, I didn't get to capture. So this year, my hopes is to get a couple of new gadgets, such as, for example, you guys see, I don't know, we have a square with a square and a circle. I do apologize in advance for my art. I am in no way by any means an artist. I'm literally just a dreamer. So that's my GoPro, and moving on to the second thing. So the second thing I really wanted to do financially this year, not everything's gonna be financial, of course, but the second thing I want to do financially this year is I want to upgrade my laptop. Reason being that my current laptop is 10 years old. It is an Acer Aspire. It was $299 from Walmart when I was a new university student, and it's treated me pretty well, if I'm being fair. It's treated me very well. I've gotten about 135 videos out of it so far, which is really cool. But truth be told, there's a lot of parts of my laptop that no longer work, such as half of the keyboard, including the space bar. The SD slots do not hold the SD card, so I literally have to sit there and hold the card in while it's loading. The headphone jack no longer works either. It has 3 USB slots and only one works sometimes. It's honestly just at the point where I need to upgrade it. And also, it will not work with pretty much any of my software. The only thing it works with is the Windows 7 Movie Maker, which was built into it, and therefore I can't even upgrade it. So it's very simple, and it doesn't allow me to do a whole lot. So that's my next thing, is upgrading my laptop. I wanted to update my laptop. So now I have my GoPro and my laptop on here. So what's next is I want to face some fears. Now I know how lame that sounds, but bear with me. So basically, I love the outdoors. But what you guys don't know is I am afraid of a lot of things you'll find in the outdoors, such as heights, spiders, snakes. I'm not a big fan of any insects whatsoever, but I would like to do some more adventures, or take part in more adventures that have me facing some of those fears. I don't know how to draw that though. So what I did was I literally just wrote face fears, and then I drew some things that I'm afraid of. So I'm afraid of spiders, snakes, and heights. So in 2020, I really want to do something that faces all those fears. Obviously with hiking and stuff, you do come face to face with snakes and spiders all the time. Actually in my first hiking video I did this summer, I did actually come in like I literally had a snake go right past me, and honestly if my sister wouldn't have said anything, I would not have known it was there. And that is the beauty of fears of snakes, is that they're more scared of you than you are of them, and if you don't bother them, they won't bother you. And more or less same with the whole spider fear. And I know they're not going to bother me if I don't bother them. However, they're creepy and I don't like sharing space with them. But then as far as the whole thing with heights, I do actually have an adventure and an idea in mind on how to face that. You know what? I'm gonna draw it because it's on my vision board, because I want to go there. So there is this one place very close to where I live. By that I mean it's actually like an hour and a half away. But so what it is it's an extension bridge. And it's located in Collingwood, Ontario, Canada, and apparently it is the highest extension bridge in Ontario. And we almost went this past year. Kind of glad I didn't, because I don't like heights. But I've decided I'm not going to be afraid of heights anymore. I want to do it, so next year I'm going to be doing it. And I will be taking you guys along with me. So I'm going to add a little camera on here. You guys will be coming with me, and I will show you guys the adventure that I have. Draw a little box around that so we all know it goes together. Alright, so now as far as career goals. Okay, so if you've watched my 2020 year in review video, you'll know that I was in a writing class at the beginning of the year that I finished in June with a 93%. Now, here's what you guys don't know, is one of my assignments, which was a story that I was working on, it had to be a scene from a story, and it was actually the first chapter of the novel I'm working on. It is a fiction novel, kind of a murder mystery more or less, and I sent in the first chapter and it got 100%. So it was a college course, so I got 100% in a creative writing college course on this chapter. So I do really want to finish that book this year. So that is going to be on my vision board, is finishing my book. It's really, really bad. I apologize in advance. Please don't judge me. But I put finished book. There we go. Okay, so a big reason why this one here, getting a place, didn't work out is because I don't really feel at home anywhere yet. And I feel like I need to visit more cities and visit more places in order to find out where I feel like I belong. So I want to travel only when and if it's safe to do so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Alright, it's a really bad map, but I want to explore places. So that's my little map. Now, one more thing I want to do is I want to meet people, but I don't, like, I want to go to more events, concerts and stuff like that. More like, I hope that public events become a thing again at some point, because that is actually where I meet a lot of people. Concerts and museums and all those places you can't really go right now. So how do I draw that I want to meet people? Alright, that's the best I could do. So meet people. That's literally the best I could do. So this here is my vision board that I've got right now. But before I finish, because it's not done yet, I'm going to add some quotes. So first and foremost, I want to add a quote by Elton Castee, who is the operator and runner and producer of TFIL, which is one of my favorite channels. All of their stuff is very inspiring to me, all of it, right down from the adventure stuff to the I can't believe they did that stuff, and even the abandoned exploration and ghost hunts. I'm very interested in the paranormal. I'm very interested in the adventures that he's, like, if you've ever checked any of his videos on his channel, he's taken his friends cliff climbing, bungee jumping, skydiving. Like, he has made his friends do just about everything, and he hasn't even gotten started yet. So his saying is, do what scares you. Alright, so that is officially a part of my vision board. So another thing I want to put on is something I've kind of been thinking a lot about lately, and so I want to put on wake up every morning and live. I used to kind of be the wake up every morning and dream type, but now I don't want to dream about the life I wish I had. I want to live the life I've dreamt about. So, alright, so I put that at the top corner there. Wake up and live. So that's just kind of something I've been thinking a lot about, is what's the point of dreaming if you're not going to put the dreams to good use and live too. And I'm gonna put on here somewhere, life's what you make it, because when you make a vision board, if you don't put the energy into making things happen, they're not gonna happen. So okay, so life is what you make it. Alright, otherwise, alright, so I just decided to add one more quote, and it's actually one from, I don't know if it's in the book, but it's in the movie of Tuck Everlasting, and it's, don't be afraid to die, be afraid of the unlived life. So this here is my completed vision board for 2021. Once again, so we've got to invest in GoPros to upgrade my gadgets for YouTube use, upgrade my laptop for both writing purposes and for editing purposes, face fears for the purpose of making my life better and not being afraid of so much, meet people because life is very lonely if you live it by yourself. Adventure more. So this one here is a drawing of the suspension bridge in Collingwood. Never been on it, was almost on it last fall, but it was actually at capacity with the COVID restrictions, so we decided to go home and come back a different day, and we actually decided to just go back next year. Work on the book you have started. I want to finish the book. Obviously, I probably won't finish all the editing stuff, but if I can, awesome. But I really need to put the energy into writing it. Explore. I want to find where I belong in the world, but I also want to find places I've never been. Last year, I only went to one new town in Ontario, and that was North Bay. heaven forbid, next year, I would love to step out of Canada. I would love to take my son for his 7th birthday. He's turning 6 this month. So next year, in January of 2022, he will be 7. And I would love to take him to Disney in either Florida or in California, because I've never been there and I'm 27. And so I would love to go there for both me and for him. And when you're 7, you're actually old enough to remember that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, that's my vision board for 2021. If you want a little zoom up of all my horrible drawings, I'm so sorry. I literally am a 2nd grade artist. It's okay. Alright, so that there is my 2021 vision board. Again, I know it's not exactly what you're used to if you've ever looked up vision boards before, but I prefer to put my full energy and attention into them because I feel like I'm channeling more energy into them than just looking for something that represents them. So with that, I want to say thank you guys for watching. If you've made vision boards this year, good luck with them. Make sure that you put the energy into them because nothing's going to come from them if you don't make it happen. It's all about equal work between you and the universe, and you have to think about it. You have to work towards it. May all of your goals and dreams come true for 2021, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!